Mr. Grush, why is it that you refer to the phenomenon as non-human intelligence? Why deviate from the basis of extraterrestrial life?
I think the phenomenon is very complex, and I like to leave an open mind analytically to specific origin.
Well, News Nation has team coverage on today's historic UFO congressional hearing, and we're starting now with News Nation's Joe Khalil, live from outside of the House where the hearing took place. Joe, is there a feeling today that it was a watershed moment for how seriously these claims will be taken in the future?
Absolutely, there was, Natasha, and I think that's the big picture takeaway from this hearing is that it was watershed. It was a historic moment, one that as people were coming out, lawmakers, the general public, people who have been around the UAP, UFO issue for quite some time, they all left the hearing feeling the same thing, which is that the very real barriers to even discussing UFOs or UAPs without people laughing, not taking it seriously, were broken down today because you had very credible witnesses, all three of them, providing firsthand accounts. You had these pilots who have seen with their own eyes these UFOs backed up by the military and radar. And then you also had the claims that David Grush has been making, first on News Nation, right? That into the congressional record now for history, he says, yes, he has been told the government has these programs that not just have possession of UAPs or UFOs, but that there are reverse engineering programs to be concerned about as well. So you hit it on the head, Natasha. Big picture, that is what people took away from. I also want to highlight a couple of specific moments that I thought were really memorable. All three of these witnesses were asked, do you think this is a national security threat? They all said, yes, potentially it could be, all of them across the board. And the reasons why they felt like it was a national security threat, I thought were really fascinating. Take a listen to what responses they gave.
The technology that we faced was far superior than anything that we had, and you could put that anywhere. If you had one, you captured one, you reverse engineered it, you got it to work, you're talking something that can go into space, go someplace, drop down in a matter of seconds, do whatever it wants, and leave, and there's nothing we can do about it. Nothing.
So I think people at home may be a little bit terrified by that even, but that is the concern. It's not just that it appears as though this is technology that is far beyond what humanity has right now, but it's also that these are things people have seen that we can't really explain by our current laws of physics, according to these witnesses. So I thought that was fascinating, but again, something that certainly raises an alarm, Natasha. And one more thing that I thought was noteworthy is that in some way, all three of these witnesses talked about how there was pressure on people not to come forward with these stories, with these sightings. Pilots saying that if they came forward with a UAP story, that they would be sort of blacklisted or that they would be embarrassed, shamed. And then David Grush went as far as to say that he knows of imminent plans for people who he used to work for in agencies that are currently going to retaliate against him. So those types of things also very concerning. And I got to say, there was bipartisan unity really throughout the entire hearing. And one of the strongest points members of Congress made was there's going to be no tolerance for intimidating or brushing off whistleblowers. They want people to come forward. They're hoping today's hearing is a catalyst for even more people to come forward with these types of reports. Natasha.
Joe Khalil live for us on Capitol Hill with that perspective. Thank you so much. And News Nation's Kelly Meyer also